Yesterday morning I attended Hustine's event organised by Family Carers Ireland, where they were laying out their asks of political parties going into this general election and what they want to see included in every party's manifesto. And top of that list was the abolition of the carers allowance means test, because and they were going on what carers themselves were asking for. And the room was full of carers, and there were a lot of carers joining us online as well, because obviously they're not in a position to actually just leave their homes and come to an event such as that. And the feeling in that room was one of anger, one of being ignored, of being taken for granted, and of their needs not being met. And as Deputy O'Leary has said, it's reckoned that the family carers save the state billions every year in euros. And ask any family carer, they don't do what they do because of what money they might receive for it. They do it out of love and out of responsibility for the person they care for, and they wouldn't change it for the world. But they do need support, and they're not getting them at the moment. I mean, people yesterday talked about the amount of care that they provide. Some of them, it's around the clock. Parents talked about children with complex disabilities who may need to be turned over in the night or seen to during the night. Others talked about their autistic children who don't sleep more than 2 or 3 hours at a time. And when the children are up, they are up because they have to ensure the safety of their child. Another carer there who's caring for her parents talked about how she gets so little sleep because her father has dementia, and again he doesn't realise what time of the day or night it is, and he may be up during the night as well, which means she's up to ensure that he's safe. Many of the carers are providing care for 30+ years that were in the room yesterday. I know of carers in my constituency who are providing it for even longer than that. And their main worry is what's going to happen to their loved ones when they pass, and it's really upsetting for them. I was speaking to a carer in my own constituency yesterday evening, and she's a carer for her 2 sons. Her mother has also now developed dementia, and as that progresses, she knows she's going to be a carer for her mother as well. She was in receipt of the carer's allowance, and it's being reviewed at the moment because, you know, of her husband's wages. So she thinks it's actually been cut off at the moment because she didn't get information in that she requires, but she's addressing that. But she realises that either it's going to be cut or maybe cut off completely. And she feels so disappointed because she is not in a position to go out and work and earn money. Her loved ones, her 2 sons, and when her mother requires it, will require the care that she will provide. And yet, because her husband's earnings are over a certain threshold, she will be penalised. And many carers talked yesterday about their treatment at the intro office or at the hands of the members of the Department of Social Protection. And this is not to say that all of them are the same, but some of them do not, treat people with empathy, and they tell of stories where they're just left feeling worthless. Where they're hauled over the coals at how many hours did they work in the week? Did they work slightly over their 18.5 hours? And I really think we need to trust carers that they will provide the proper care to the loved ones, and if they are in a position to do a few hours of work outside the home or to undertake a training or an educational course, that they will ensure that they still provide the care that's required to their loved ones. I don't know about this restriction to 18.5 hours. It actually precludes them from actually taking part in the CE scheme. And I mean, that would be something that would actually provide an outlet for many. Sinn Féin have given a commitment to remove the carers means test in the course of one term of government. And in our pre-budget submission, or alternative budget this year, we would raise the threshold to €1,460 for a couple and €730 per week for a single person, which was far beyond what the government were prepared to go. I think the government only committed something like 11 million to additional funding to the carers allowance scheme, where we would have committed 100 million. And we would have made those changes from January. I cannot understand this delay in passing on the increases until July. That's not fair. It's not happening to any other sector. The carers are being left to wait for 7 months. But many carers talked about the devastation of the lack of supports, and home care is a huge issue. So carers, especially where there are complex disabilities within the home, require people coming in to help them perhaps to change the person, where there's a hoist required, and they're left high and dry on a regular basis without that vital support, and this is creating another pressure on them. Thank you.